Alrighty folks, so I don't think I'm going to win any YouTube and vlogger awards in the near future, because in the last clip, hopefully as you may have seen, we got very little yesterday. Yesterday was an absolutely mad day from start to finish, because it's 3 days wrapped into one: our operator's license awareness training and our international transport manager refresher training. An absolutely pinpoint perfect group yesterday as usual. We had a full class, everybody was interactive, they were all different skill levels, which I love when we go into them training courses, and they were all different operators licenses, as in some were international, some were national, some were restricted. We had safety staff in, we had compliance staff in, we had training staff in, we had company directors in, we had transport managers in, a real mix and match of every kind of personnel that will work within that field. Maintenance as well, we had mechanics in, we had garage foremen in. So yeah, shit vlogging. Because one of the plans yesterday, only our social media guys from group media couldn't make it for that whole day. The plan was then to, have a chat, have a couple of cameras in the room, chat to people after and before it, and listen, of course it didn't work out. So anyway, this is the next day, I'm out on site, we need to get things moving, finish it up here, and then back over to HQ to take a look at construction progress. Stand by. So we are back here in HQ, and we have Mickey and Doc in here getting all the plumbing work sorted out, or doing what they do best, which is just a nice tidy plumbing job, Let me give you an example. So with the guys here who are new radiators fitted, all the groundwork's done here for the pipe work for the new combi boilers, and everything traced. Now this is what I want to highlight. Look at this bit of cutting here, guys, okay? Right? Bear with me. Now we had a problem here where these two radiators here, a radiator there and a radiator there, these two radiators never worked. I never remember them working, and I had more people in looking at them and more plumbers in looking at them, and they could not sort it out. Now to be fair to the guys, they have them working perfectly. I mean, you would stick to them, they're that hot. Which, of course, sometimes I'm a wee bit weary of, because now they're starting to put hot water through it and a bit of pressurised water through it. Will the radiators give up down the line? However, cost efficiency is a big thing, so we want to make sure we're not throwing a pile of money away for nothing. So yeah, the pipe work going in here, the pipes were blocked with dirt and grit, and the guys got it all pressurised out. If we just follow this whole pipe work, so we have combi boilers fitted outside of the wall. That's going to happen now. All the pipe work's going to come through, in through the walls. And then, as you can see out through here, all this pipe work that has been done and followed through. Okay, going through to what was sinks and all, and the next the range boiler, which, by the way, I'm keeping the range in our boardroom. Hopefully I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in a bit. So yeah, with all the pipe work, radiators and all fitted. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that usually when you come into these situations, the whole place is like a bomb site. There's dust everywhere, there's material everywhere, everything's just piled, shit is piled on top of shit in every corner of the room. But with these guys, it's very very rarely you see this. The materials are taken out as they're dug up, the dust is kept to a minimum, to such an extent that, new blinds, these are all brand new blinds put through out the lower end of the property. Because obviously the plan here has changed that many times, and I was giving out to myself because I forgot to take these down. But at this moment I don't even have to, because they're doing that tidy of a job. Step by step, materials are coming out, rubble's coming out, dust is kept to a minimum, and listen, it's very rarely you ever see this. Very, very rarely. But anyways, they have been running thermal imaging cameras to track the pipe work, obviously, because we had new parts fitted on to this premises over the years, and yeah, so most of the pipe work now has been traced back and dug out. Again, all this pipe work here has had to be, it hasn't been done yet, but it'll be taken out from the wall, because downstairs will be the same as upstairs. It'll all be reboarded, damp proof course behind it, and then installation, and then the plaster board on top of that, and then we'll get the guys back into plaster and skim like they done upstairs, which by the way was not the plan in any way. We have to move on and make progress, because remember, what is the end rule of life? Death. Right, let's get upstairs and see what is happening. What an absolutely beautiful morning. Beautiful morning up here at the Michael Smith Business Hub, our headquarters and our private offices. But yeah, radiators. So now we've got to the stage here where we have the radiators on in this room here, which is the main command room. And then we have spark work to be done around the walls. And as you can see, it's left us with a whole new ceiling now to do what we're doing. Now at the moment, I'm putting in the hexagon lights. I don't even know why I'm doing that. I think they're nice, I think they're stylish. We're going to mirror that in the boardroom downstairs. Is there any light in them? Probably not. They're probably only for decoration. However, with the screens and the lamps on the desks, do you really need the big light on? This here wall, as you know, is a full media wall. This will have all our camera systems, our digital software platforms. So anything from Tachograph downloading, remote downloading, we can activate client cameras on vehicles anywhere in the world at any time. We can push notifications. We can keep guys accountable. All the auditing coming back and transport manager reports and all comes on. All our camera systems on our sites all around the place. Our staff, from logging in to anything they do on the system to live chats, will all be done from here. Now, on the day of recording this video, which was another wee thing up our sleeve, is that we have opened up in Wrexham and we've put a support team in Wrexham, which has been on the cards for a good while. It's eventually over the line. It's now in testing and everybody's trying to find their feet. So that'll be going to take a lot of my time up at the moment for, well, I'm hoping it'll only take maybe a month up or so, I don't know. But it's, yeah, that'll be all ran from there. But again, the whole point of the HQ here is that we can access anything at any time from a mobile device, boardroom downstairs for clients to come and meet. And this here really is the HQ for all our businesses. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. So what else was I going to say? Yeah, so as you can see here, we've a lovely big window here for this now main office. When I say main office, this is classed as the command room. My main office with any senior management that I take on at certain levels. We've restructured the business. We have a couple of senior managers gone from the business now, and again we've brought guys in to replace them, but on a lower tier of title, should we say. But we'll run these guys. We've been running for about 6 weeks now. Let's see what they can do. Can they do what they say they can do? Which is usually they can't. But I know you have to have some sort of faith in somebody. Yeah, so when I do any of these projects, you know, it's always in the back of your mind, is the building going to be turned back into living accommodation at any time? And this is why we have to be careful. So when you see the likes of that radiator and that radiator, as in the size and all of them, the capacity of them, that is because the guys have done the calculation to heat the room correctly. First of all, as a dual room, as a one whole open room, and also if we want to split the room again. Now this particular room was to be split with a glass partition. The plan has changed a wee bit, so we're not sure we're still going to do that or not, because the bit of glass, like, to be fair, a glass partition, even from there to there, because as you can see we've two doors, to come into that office, it's stupid money. Like, they're looking 6 grand, 8 grand, like, not happening. You might look at that window, and the first thing I would say is, we could have went for a longer radiator and made it nice and aesthetically pleasing, because unfortunately I'm just wired that way. However, what Doc did say, one of the plumbing engineers, he did make a good point that at any stage, if you want to put curtains here, the curtain then will come down either side of the radiator, and that radiator is obviously calculated to put out the maximum heat for this room, and it'll sit perfectly on either side. And he made such a good point, because I know at home where we have the long radiators, even upstairs in the bedrooms, the curtains sit on the bloody radiator. And then you try and drape the curtains over the side of the radiator, and all you're doing is blocking out the heat. So yeah, fair play, that was a good point he made. And as soon as he made that point, I said, that's what we're going to do. Another good interesting bit about here is that, I don't know if I said it in the last clip or not, but this building here is now completely dry upstairs in the attic. And what I mean by dry is all the tanks are out of it. We have the immersion heater tanks, we have the water tanks. It's now fed from a combi unit only, and that means we don't have to worry, especially for someone like me that's very rarely here, and the way we restructured the business. Again, these are private offices or HQ, so as people know, if you're someone's here, you're either in trouble, you're getting a promotion, or you're a new client coming on board. Yes, so it's completely dry upstairs. which just takes that extra wee bit of, yes, with the whole place cameraed and with sensors on it, and we can tell you everybody who's ever been here, come into the gate, went out to the gate, whatever you've done. However, if I'm sitting in front with a client and the camera's no good looking at the camera if there's a bust pipe in it coming down to the ceiling. So this is the plan that we're at. What's the positive and negatives of this? Because I had a good chat actually with the plumbers. You know, the positive and the only negative really, and this is the only negative, is that if you had a bust water mains or something outside out of your control where there's no water coming into the premises, you have no water, okay? Now, in a house usually you'll have whatever size of tank you have in the attic, you will have enough water there, say, to flush the toilets, maybe run the sinks for a minute, and possibly run one bath, depending on the size of the tank that you have. And that's the only really negative disadvantage that I see. And like, how many times does that happen really? Yes, we still have the showers and bathroom facilities in here, along with the downstairs toilets and the container gyms that if you followed us for a long time, you would see we have container gyms as well. One of them will probably be coming back up here to HQ if we have staff based on this site. But as we develop out the back and the other bit of land that we've obtained lately, we're going to see what we can do. Right, that's a hell of a lot of talk on this here clip, guys. Let's get back at it. Alrighty, folks. So, on another note, I'm here in the boardroom at HQ, and as you know, a lot of guys would have seen the boardroom, but it's in the middle of a full restructure that was not on the plan at the start, to be honest. However, we need to move forward. Remember, for things to change, you must change. Anyway, on a more positive note, within HQ, one of the things that I'm trying to achieve here, just because this is our private offices, and yes, we'll be all over the country and all over the world. It's just nice having the base, as in our headquarters, which is the Michael Smith Business Hub. And all our businesses are actually head office here, although we've set up a new place in Wrexham, which if you're on a YouTube channel, you'll see that. More videos to come shortly. But in the boardroom here at HQ, I don't want to fill the place up with crap. Most people do. I want it nice and streamlined, everything so minimalistic as I can. But there's certain areas and certain parts as you go through in life that you want to kind of record, whether it's photographs or items. So we'll be putting a cabinet in it to hold certain things, even from my own background and careers that I was in and jobs that I've done. So watch out for this. But one of the things that we have here that we're going to put in is, I don't know if you can guess what it is yet. But anyway, let me go across the yard to the studio and we'll take a look. Alrighty, so let's see if we can even get this in shot. Guys are doing a YouTube video and a part of this shall be in it. I don't even know if you can see it or not. However, let's get a wee juke. One. Can you guess what it is yet? So let's take a look at this wee lady inside here. Let's see. Ooh, baby. Can't even get that in the shot. So here we have it. One of Lee Johnson's helmets. Jesse's dad, but more importantly, TCTSgroup.com. Alrighty, folks, good morning. Good morning. It is a absolutely beautiful, fresh, cold Sunday morning, and we're just fueling up as per usual. So welcome back to a new vlog. It's Stephen here from TCTSgroup.com, TCTS Ireland Compliance Global Software, TLS, Smyth Enterprises, you know the crack. Anyways, first of all, thank you so much for tuning in. I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, put on the little bell that'll give you a notification when we pop up another video, and yeah, leave a comment. So the plan of action today is we are shipping out of Belfast over back yet again into Birkenhead, Liverpool, and we have a whole mass of stuff to do, so I'll explain it a wee bit better once you get a drop of diesel. But what a beautiful morning here. Right, let's get this beast filled up and we get the hell out of here. This is a usual, not lastminute.com, but kind of booking for time critical jobs, so let's get it done.